also going to lead, how does autism affect your family? Like, personally, do you notice that in any other places with your
Not
family?
really. And he's, very high functioning, but like, certain noises, like he has a hard time with certain noises. So like we went to the circus and he put his hands over his ears the whole time, and I feel bad. Like I need to go get him some earphones. Like that's just something next time we go to an event. Like I think that would really help.
Does he get any special help through the school, like in the school system?
Yeah, they moved us the next year. So for first and second grade, they moved us over to Meriwether Lewis, where they have something called an A-base room, which is like a autism like specific room where kids can go as when they need it. It's not full time. They're people mainstream, but if they can't focus or it's too loud or too chaotic and they need tools to help them calm down, or a special ed teacher is trained in the area of autism, like she would be in there, and that was just, that was really life changing. So having that resource available to us was huge, and we had 2 very successful years at Meriwether Lewis, and now this program is really expanding in the area. So they just opened up an A-base room at Murray, which is our school, and then his younger brother started kindergarten there, and they just moved him back there, and he's been just very successful again. So
great.
Yeah, just most importantly, you really want to keep them up academically, and they're so smart, but sometimes they need extra help to get the work done. So I think that's really great news to hear. I think we absolutely need that. I know UVA is investing in like an autism research center that's going to tie together a lot of different elements of the school, like the brain center and the IT people and the children's hospital, and it's kind of through the Curry School. So I've been thinking along those lines like for a long time, and so research is key, and another key thing is like outreach to families. Really, the earlier you can diagnose them, the better. And a lot of people won't admit it, so they won't diagnose, but if you do, you are exposed to so many more resources, like through your insurance company and whatnot. I know the Children's Hospital at UVA has a ton of resources. They like social skill classes and just all sorts of stuff. So it's really good to hear, the government's kind of going down that route too.
Kind of what you said with the outreach more. Do you think that enough people know about autism, or it needs to be much more publicized?
I think it needs to be talked about in schools, and people need to understand about it at a young age, so they support kids, at the early stages in life, throughout life. I mentioned, like, I think more kids will be going to college that are on the spectrum. So I think more people are being diagnosed, and more it's being communicated. Like if somebody's on the spectrum, it's becoming, I think, less of a stigma. So people are less hesitant to say they're on the spectrum, or my kid's on the spectrum, and you just understand they just might be a little different, and you might need to approach things a little differently. Sure. Yeah, the more I've learned about that, absolutely. That's been one of my biggest fears for Max. Like I've said, I feel like he's like gifted in his intelligence, and in many ways. And I want him to be as successful as possible. I've often thought, like, well, I need to like retire and go to college with him. Just it's gonna be there's a long road, and if he can be hard to get him to do things he doesn't want to do, and I'm sure we're gonna be faced with that as like studying and extracurriculars and all that over his life. But I really hope he does go to college, and I hope he gets married. I think a lot of people, now that we're all being more educated, like we can spot people on the spectrum, who are doing just fine, that are just a little different. So, I think probably like most importantly is like social acceptance. Some companies are even targeting like hiring kids on the spectrum, like public accounting firms, where kids might not mind just crunching numbers all day and creating areas that are suitable to them to work in, and then educating employees in terms of how they might behave in certain situations. And so I just really would love to see more of that. I'd love to see us help these kids and help them be like as productive members of society as they want to be. So, and independent.
Mm-hmm.